Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo. I'm going to put in some more pumpkin pits. Let's go see. Alright, well, as I've been studying, I've learned that winter squash grows well in the summer heat in my region. And I've planted some Cucurbita maxima, maxima being a particular kind of, species, I guess, of this pumpkin. And they're doing well. I like them. But I also learned that Cucurbita Moschata grows better and can potentially reroot itself better when you let it grow along the ground. And so I purchased some seeds. I'm going to plant those, and we're going to see what we get this year. We're going to do the same thing we did in my other pumpkin pit video. We're going to put some gnarly, nasty stuff. I've got some particularly vile compost today, and we're going to drop that in a hole, put pumpkins over them, and watch them grow. So here we are in my weed-bound bed that was filled with nutsedge earlier in the spring, and we came in and we laid down cardboard over a bed that had been amended with agricultural molasses, dry powder molasses. And the thinking was that molasses would be under this cardboard and would feed the microorganisms in the soil and really give a big bacterial bloom to the soil, and that would help to eat up all those nutsedge roots down in the soil. That was the hope. Well, I've put a bunch of mulch over that cardboard. It's been sitting here for about 3 months, I guess now, and it's really hot. And so I decided to go ahead and plant in this bed now. I'm going to put in 3 pumpkin mounds. And these are the pumpkin mounds or the melon pits that I've done in the past. And I've got some different varieties here. And I want to put them in, 3 of them, in my bed. And so I dug down, and I can take advantage of this time to see what the soil looks like, and it looks really rich. Tons and tons of worms. That cardboard's beginning to break down. The soil is black. I don't see any signs of nutsedge trying to run underneath the cardboard. There were probably still some roots in there, and you can see the root networks are still in there a little bit here and there. But hopefully the cardboard mulch and the heavy mulch layer, this heavy wood mulch on top, will continue to do its job of feeding the microbial life in here, and that the nutsedge will be starved of sunlight and draw off of its root system until that root system is depleted. So what I'm doing here is digging out about a 5-gallon hole. That's 5 gallons worth of soil. I've gone all the way down to my hard clay layer. And in that hole, I'm going to put my nasty compost. I'm going to put some chicken scraps and some unfinished compost in each of these 3 holes, because squash plants don't mind growing with unfinished compost nearby. In fact, they'll grow in it. And so that's what we're doing here amongst these beans. I'm going to put my squash down in there, winter squash. Already got some cardboard down in there. That hole gets frozen chicken waste. This hole gets a dead rat. Oh! Each hole gets a dose of my really nasty fetid horror water fertilizer. This is an anaerobic brew compost tea. Really gnarly stuff. Each hole gets some of my unfinished compost. This stuff's pretty hot. So with these squash plants, they're of the, I think it's a family, Cucurbita. They're all squashes, they're pumpkins, but the maxima is a species and the moschata is a species. So this would be like, all the moschatas can interbreed with one another. And so I've got that dark green moschata pumpkin growing over there, and the cultivar of that pumpkin, or the variety, is an Asian variety. Next to it, I've got 2 French heirloom varieties of the same species, Cucurbita Moschata. It's like dogs, right? You have a Dalmatian. A Dalmatian can breed with a dachshund. All domestic dogs can interbreed and form mutts. The Maxima won't interbreed and cross with the Moschata. They'll interbreed and cross with themselves over on the south side of the house. But these Cucurbita Moschatas are supposed to be a little more resistant to the borers, a little more able to handle the heat, and a little more prone to root along the pathway where the vine touches the ground. And that's what we're after. We're after a plant that roots along the way so that if part of the plant gets destroyed, the rest of the plant still has a fighting chance to put on some pumpkins. In my middle hill, I'm going to put these Kogigu, I think that's how you pronounce it, but I could be wrong, these green melons, and they're the same species, just a different cultivar. And we're going to drop these in and see how they do in that middle hole. Let's see if that rat can grow some pumpkins. Alright, final mound here. And I'm going to put in some more of these French squashes. Now, I would have to call on my friend Karen again in France to know how to pronounce this. Musquee de Provence. I don't even know. I'm not gonna try any further. But basically, this is a French heirloom and is reported to grow well in heat. So that's what we're going to grow here. I always plant more than I need. We'll come back and we'll thin down to the strongest plants. With all the squashes I've grown this year, I ought to at least get some, huh? You would think. These pumpkin pits will feed the plants, and when the roots get down there and find all that goodness, they'll really bloom out in green. They'll really perk up. And so I'm going to let these pumpkins sprawl. I'm going to try to kind of push them this way, but I'm sure they'll go where they want to go. Alright, here's the status of the other pumpkin pits. This is Moschata, and over here we got Jarradale, and they're doing fine. I've thinned them down now finally to 3 plants, and soon I'll be removing the anti-corgi fence from these because they're big enough where the dog ought to leave them alone now. And yeah, once these roots get down, they're almost there, I'm sure, and find all that good stuff in there, we'll see these leaves green up too. Kind of a pale green, a light green. Healthy plants. But boy, when they find that nutrition down there, I expect the nitrogen in there will really green these up a lot. Yeah, nice little project. We'll see how it works out, and I'll keep you updated along the way. Thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I'm really glad you stopped by. Please like our videos, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.